very similar to uniform South African police wear, that they are notorious for stopping black, Hispanic, and long haired people on the turnpike and beating, harassing, and arresting them. The Nazis headed the harassment campaign against me. They spit in my food and turned down the thermostat in the room until it was freezing. For a while, their campaign centered on keeping me from sleeping. They stamped their feet on the floor, sang songs all night, played with their guns, shouted, etc. I told the nurses about it, but it was no use. I could deal with whatever they were putting out, but how long would this go on? I had heard nothing from the outside world, and I didn't even know if anybody knew where I was or whether I was dead or alive. My chest was feeling better, but I still could hardly breathe. I thought I was past the point of needing an operation, but I wasn't sure if it was because of the painkillers they had given me or because I was really getting better. Every day I asked them to contact my lawyer, and every day they said they had tried, but there was no answer. I knew that was a lie because Evelyn had an answering service. Every day I asked them to contact my family. The response to this was usually obscene. Oh, you got family, do you? Is your mother a nigger whore like you? We don't allow no pickaninnies at the hospital. They went on and on about my family until they found something else to go on and on about. Whoever said that no news is good news had to be out of his mind. Well, there was news, but it wasn't good news. They told me they had arrested Sandiata. At first, I didn't believe them, but they were too glib and arrogant. I knew something had happened. We got your friend, they said, and he's singing like a bird. Yeah, he's singing like a bird, and he's giving you all the weight. It's a good thing for you he didn't know what color undies you had on, or he would have told us that. We know where you were coming from. We know where you were going. We know that you stopped at a Howard Johnson. He even told us what you ordered and that you just love potato chips. What? I thought. How did they know that? Then I remembered that we had bought potato chips at the Howard Johnson on the turnpike. Maybe someone had seen me and remembered. Yes, Clark Squirrel. Yes, Clark Squire. Tell us that you took the trooper's gun and shot him in the head. Now you wouldn't do a thing like that, would you? Well, Joanne, you're in a hell of a fix. If I were you, I wouldn't let him get away with it. It's a low down thing to do, giving all the weight to a woman. I'll make a deal with you. You tell us everything that happened, and I promise we'll go light on you. I just don't like to see you get a bad break, that's all. You know you're facing a lot of time in prison. The way things stand, if he testifies against you, you could get life in prison or even the chair. But all you have to do is tell us what happened, and we'll see to it that you do just a couple of years and go home. You're young. You don't want to rot away your whole life in prison, do you? Maybe you think you owe something to the cause. You think he's thinking about the cause now? No, he's singing his head off, trying to give you all the weight. They're all the same. They talk all this shit about black people, equal rights, civil rights, but when it comes down to the wire, all they care about is their hide. He's thinking about his hide, and you better think about yours. You think the cause gives a damn about you? Your own people don't give a damn about you. To them, you're just a common criminal. Now I'm giving you this chance to save yourself and come clean. If you don't take it, you're a fool. They really did think black people were stupid. Their line had to be the oldest in the book. He was sitting there like he just knew his corny little speech had done the trick. I said nothing. If you don't say anything to them, they have nothing to turn around and use against you. Divide and conquer has always been their motto. When they realized I wasn't going to talk, they began to leave. Then one came back. Oh, he said, I almost forgot to read you your rights. He pulled out his little card and read from it. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to, etc. I wouldn't want you to say that we didn't read you your rights. Thursday afternoon, they're letting me make a phone call. I don't believe it. I call my aunt. She's not in. The answering service answers. I don't know who else to call. The only lawyers whose names I know worked on the Panther 21 trial. I call them at random. No one is in, but secretaries promise to give them messages. I'm disappointed, but I feel a lot better. Things are looking up. It's Friday. From the activity in the room next door, I can tell something is up. Voices and whispers. They are back and forth, in and out, arranging this, moving that. The police radio is jumping. What's happening? What is happening? What is it? It can't be too bad, I think. They are leaving me alone. In a little while, a policewoman comes in. She is in a brown uniform, and her insignia says Sheriff's Department. She's black or Hispanic. I can't tell exactly, except that she isn't white. Then some more police come in dressed in uniforms similar to hers. Then more police. They are state troopers. One of them moves to the door and stands at attention. Then some men in suits come in. Then a man comes in with a stenographic machine. The Honorable Joseph F. Bradshaw, State of New Jersey, County of Middlesex. All rise. Then this judge walks in with a black robe on. One of the men in a suit reads the charges against me. We are here today to serve complaints upon you for the matters arising out of the shooting of May 2nd on 1973. I will read you the complaints. Leave copies with you of the charges that will be pending against you. The judge will then advise you on the arrangements of such rights you may have. You are charged under complaint number 119977 by Detective Taranto, New Jersey State Police, who says on the 2nd of May 1973, within the confines of the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, that you unlawfully and illegally resisted a lawful arrest made by New Jersey State Trooper James Harper by discharging a dangerous pistol and wounding the said James Harper and fleeing the scene of the incident, all in violation of NJS 2A 85-1. You are also charged under complaint number S119979 by Detective Sergeant Taranto of the New Jersey State Police, who says that on the 2nd of May 1973, within the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, that you did commit an atrocious assault and battery upon New Jersey State Trooper James Harper by shooting, wounding, and maiming the said James Harper with a handgun, and then there discharged by the defendant, all in violation of NJS 2A 91. In the second count, you are charged by the said officer who said that defendant Joanne Deborah Chesmard did on the aforementioned date and placed unlawfully and illegally assault that said James Harper with intent to kill, murder, and slay him by use of a handgun, then and there held by the defendant, all in violation of NJS 2A90-2. In further charges, in the third count, that the aforementioned defendant did at the above mentioned time and place commit an unlawful and illegal assault and battery on a law enforcement officer, to wit, one James Harper, a duly sworn trooper of the New Jersey State Police, by discharging a firearm and wounding the said James Harper, all in violation of NJS 2A90-4. In S119980, you are charged with illegally and unlawfully committing the crime of murder by willfully and with malice, aforethought shooting, killing and slaying New Jersey State Trooper Werner Forrester, all in violation of NJS 2A113-1 and NJS 2A85-14. You are further charged under S119981 with one account wherein Detective Sergeant Taranto charges you on the 2nd day of May 1973 within the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, that you did unlawfully, illegally, and with malice aforethought cause or effect the murder of James Costin, aka Zaid Shakur, while resisting or avoiding a lawful arrest, then and there being affected by New Jersey State Trooper James Harper, all in violation of NJS 2A113-2. You are charged with S119982 by State Trooper Sergeant Louis Taranto that on the 2nd of May 1973 in the township of East Brunswick, county of Middlesex, you unlawfully and illegally possessed on your person, under your custody and control, an illegal weapon, to wit, one Browning 9mm automatic pistol, one Browning automatic .380 caliber, one .38 caliber Llama automatic pistol, serial number 24831, all without having obtained any necessary permit for the carrying of the same, in violation of NJS 2A151-41A. You are further charged in complaint S 119983, wherein Detective Sergeant Taranto says on the 2nd day of May 1973 in the township of East Brunswick, county of Middlesex, that you did unlawfully and illegally and forcibly take from the person of New Jersey State Trooper Warner Forrester a .38 caliber revolver by violence, to wit, by shooting, slaying, and killing the same Warner Forrester, all in violation of NJS 2A141-1. The second count of that complaint charges you with committing that act while being armed, in violation of NJS 2A151-5. You are being charged by State Trooper Detective Sergeant Taranto, complaint S119984, who says on the 2nd day of May 1973 in the township of East Brunswick, county of Middlesex, that you did illegally, unlawfully conspire with James Costin, aka Zayed Shakur, and one John Doe to commit the crime of murder of the said trooper Warner Forrester, and in the effectuation of said conspiracy did execute the following overt acts. 1. That the said defendant Joanne Deborah Chesmart did have in her possession a pistol with which to effectuate the ends of the conspiracy on the above mentioned time and at the above mentioned place. 2. The above named defendant Joanne Deborah Chesmart, in concert with and by common scheme and plan, did assault Trooper James Harper and otherwise discharge her weapon at the said Trooper James Harper, with the intent to effect the ends of the conspiracy by otherwise wounding and maiming or killing him, all in violation of NJS 2A91-1 and NJS 2A113-1. I think he will never stop. Half of the charges I don't even understand. I interrupt the proceedings. I don't have a lawyer here. I protest. I would like to have a lawyer present. They ignore me and keep on reading. How do you plead? They ask me. I would like to have a lawyer present. Do I have the right to a lawyer? That will not be necessary, the judge says coldly. Enter a plea of not guilty for the defendant. And just as quickly as they enter, the procession departs. Later, the same policewoman comes back. She stands rigidly against the wall, her face in a mask. Uh-oh, I think. Court again. What are they going to do? Railroad me here and now? I imagine to myself being tired right there in the bed with being tried right there in the bed with no lawyer. The door opens. It's Evelyn, my lawyer and aunt. She is the most beautiful sight in the world. She embraces me and sits down next to me. As usual, she is business first. I only have 5 minutes, she tells me. They told me that I couldn't see you. I had to go to court and get a court order to see you. The judge would give us only 5 minutes apiece. Your mother and sister are outside, so talk fast. We look up. The police are practically standing in our mouths. I would like to talk with my client in private, Evelyn says. Would you please move back? This is an outrage. This is an attorney-client visit, and we have a constitutional right to privacy. The police move back 1 inch. I tell Evelyn about the kangaroo court in the morning. My mouth moves so fast, it's like one of those old-style movies, but a talkie. I can see from the expression on her face that I must look horrible. How are they treating you? She asks. I don't have time to tell her the whole story, but I have to let her know what's going on. I don't know what they will do next. I have to try to get someone to put pressure on them to stop. I tell her some of it, but I just can't tell her the worst. Her face looks so pitiful, and every time I tell her something, her hands shake. Try to do what you can, I say. Time is up. Time is up, miss. Evelyn makes her futile protest. I need to talk with my client. This is just not enough time. Sorry, miss. Time is up. They move toward her like they are going to beat her up. Then she is gone. I brace myself for my mother and my sister. It has been such a long time since I've seen them, I don't know what to expect. My mother comes in. She looks worried but strong. She kisses me. I'm proud of you, she says. The words spin around me, weaving a warm blanket of love. I'm so happy. I can hardly contain myself. My mother is proud of me. She loves me and she is proud of me. Too soon, the time with my mother is up. My sister comes in. She has her hair wrapped in a turban and she looks so pale. As soon as she sees me, she breaks out crying, tears streaming down her already puffy face. I can tell she's been crying a lot. I love you, she says simply. We don't do a lot of talking, but I feel very close to her during those few minutes. Time's up again, and then she's gone. I lie there full of emotion. All of this is so hard on my family. They look vulnerable and shaken. This is maybe harder on them than it is on me. I wish there was something I can do to make them happy. Two black nurses were very kind to me. When they were on duty, they would go out of their way to make sure I was all right. They made frequent trips to my room, for which I was especially grateful during those first days. If you need anything, just ring, they said knowingly. One of the nurses came in and gave me 3 books I hadn't even thought about reading. The books were godsend. The books were a godsend. They had been carefully selected. One was a book of black poetry. One was a book called Black Women in White America. And the third was a novel, Siddhartha, by Hermann Hesse. Whenever I tried of the verbal abuse, Whenever I tired of the verbal abuse of my captors, I would drown them out by reading the poetry out loud. Invictus and If Must I were the poems I usually read. I read them over and over until I was sure the guards had heard every word. The poems were my message to them. When I read the books about black women, I felt the spirits of those sisters feeding me, making me stronger. Black women have been struggling and helping each other to survive the blows of life since the beginning of time. And when I read Siddhartha, a peace came over me. I felt a unity with all things living. The world, in spite of oppression, is a beautiful place. I would say Om softly to myself, letting my lips vibrate. I felt the birds, the sun, the trees. I was in communion with all the forces on the earth that truly love people, in communion with all the revolutionary forces on the earth. I was definitely getting better. They were even unchaining me so that I could hobble to the bathroom every now and then with the help of the nurse. I was still weak, and when I returned from the bathroom, I would flop on the bed as if I had just accomplished a great physical feat. But at least now I knew what was wrong with me. During those first days, I could barely ask. And when I did, they acted as if my condition were some top secret information I was not privy to. I had 3 bullet holes. There was a bullet in my chest. It's still there. An injured lung with fluid in it. A broken clavicle. And a paralyzed arm with undetermined damage to the nerves. I kept asking if I would be able to use my hand again. 1 or 2 doctors said flatly no. The others said maybe yes, maybe no. Anyway, I was gonna live. Story. You died. I cried. I kept on getting up, a little slower and a lot more deadly.